Hello and welcome again to Jekyll Geek's RPG Realm, and I am Jekyll Geek, and this is my RPG Realm. In this episode, we will deal with another episode of this video was an episode, yeah, of the solo play, actual play of Fabula Ultima with a look towards the natural fantasy codex, or actually not codex, but atlas. But in our meta story, our last episode, Raven journeyed to the water temple and she found a horse that, when defeated, turned into a guy named Dylas. And you can look and see Dylas's sheet up close. He likes fishing. Even has a fishing pole on his sprite. So when he recovers, he talks to everyone, and he finds out there's also another person in town, a girl named Lucy, who also loves fishing. So Dillis and Lucy decide to go on a fishing trip to the water temple, and we shall move them to the water temple right here. But in this water temple, there are monsters there, like this creature known as the caterpillar. Let's move them to the token. So yeah, it's you find out you can't really surprise yourself that way when you're doing a prepped solo play like I'm doing. But they run into caterpillar and said, "Eek, we need to. That's a big scary thing, but well, yeah, it's big and scary, but I have some special Earth-made powers that could help us." And so Lucy and Dallas decide to roll initiative. First Lucy, and she succeeds, so Dillis rolls his roll with a +1. We can see here. But that is not enough to allow them to go first. So the caterpillar comes and attacks. And it will do a Dex plus Might attack against Dillis, which I'm going to just D10 and D8. That is a 10. And let's see Dillis's physical defense. Wait, I forgot to give him equipment. Oh well. So that is let's see, what was the rolling number? 6. So 11. So it rolls up into Dillis and he takes 11 points of damage and is also weak, meaning his might takes a hit. There you go. But now Dillis gets. Lucy tries to attack with her spell. I gave her one spell. And she attacks with a 11, which hits the caterpillar's magical defense for 23 points of damage. Doing a lot of damage, but this takes up 10 of Lucy's mind points. But now Dylas, being an invoker in the water temple, he uses his special invoker powers, an invocation, a level 1, and he will. And invocations are a type of magic that is tied to the scene and case. This being the water temple, I'm going to say this place has a water wellspring. Although the thing is, every place they said scene grants you two ones, but I'm going to only use the water one for this demonstration. And so he does 20 points of ice damage, but it is vulnerable, taking out the caterpillar entirely. And here's the one nifty thing about invokers is that, yeah, let's see, invocation, spend mind points. So that would be a 5 points of mind. Uh, yes, if you're noting, I did not roll for Dylas's using the water invocation to use a hydroblast because an invocation damages automatically because. Which is really nice because let's say Lucy does flubbed her roll, she'd still have lost 10 mind points, but would have done nothing. So the nice thing is invocations are auto damage. So that is really nice. So yeah, after going back and using taking a little bit of the caterpillar to use as bait, Dylas and Lucy go on fishing, and unfortunately, one of them fishes up a monster, a thornfish. It's, it's 50 hit points. So now they have to roll initiative once again. And Lucy succeeds. And now will Dylan succeed with his +1 to his initiative? No, then. Yes, he does. So they get to go first. However, you might have realized something if the invoker's magic is tied to the element of the area. Excuse me. You may run into a problem. For example, this thornfish is resistant to ice, so if Dils used his ice invocation, he would only do 10 points of damage because if you'd make sense that oftentimes that a creature resistance to the element would be there. Like for example, if you're in a volcano, you're probably going to run into fire resistant monsters. But not as all lost for Dillis, because there's something else he can do because he has level 2 in invocations, so he can use his hexes. Because and cast a hydro hex on the target, it suffers, causing it to do a thing here. Suffer an extra 5 points of damage if it suffers air or bolt damage, which Lucy will try to do next. Okay. And that succeeds and does 22 points of damage. Oh, wait. No, it'd be 27 points of damage because of that hex. And I'm going to just show what it actually, the vulnerabilities that would have caused a to die, but Dylas has even one more trick. He can use a ripple to attack with a if the is a hex invocate a ripple causes a hex invocation to allow him to do a free attack. And what do I have Dylas equipped with? Oh, I forgot to. I can just say he has some iron claws, which do 6 points of damage. But misses. The Yeah, and nothing can really protect you from a bad roll. But if he did, he'd be able to do even more damage against it. But the thing is vulnerable to Lucy's attack. So it is now down to 0. However, the thing is, it took 54 points of damage. 10 of that is thanks to Delis's hex. So if he hadn't hexed that creature, which should take 5 AP off, 9 points, that Thornfish could have attacked them. But now, thanks to Delis's awesome invoker powers, the two of them are both safe and have a nice roasted fish to take home with them. As you see, an invoker is not only a nice, useful class in its own right. Stuff like its hexes allow elementalists, which Lucy has some very basic elementalist powers, to take advantage of a say a hex that an invoker sets sets them up with. So even an invoker isn't useless, even if they can only run into enemies that their elemental blast powers cause them to that are resistant. But also, the blast powers are very nice because if they're not resistant, or as like we see Caterpillar, they do auto damage. So yeah, Invokers. As I look through the system to see new and cool stuff, Invokers one of the classes that I really think is cool. It's based off the Geomancer, I think, from Final Fantasy V, and it wasn't good there, but it is really good here. And I hope you learned something about the Invoker, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.